Good morning Destiny players and welcome to a new build video, this time on the Warlock class. If you have suggestions for builds to do, please let me know. I'm pretty out of ideas lately, as you can see. I am Bladeburger, your local bound leather turns into tan leather and 600 ticks kind of guy. In this video, Dawn Chorus. Solar is a very good element, and this build is very strong with the synergies it presents. Make sure to do the old subscription stuff and let's get into the video. This build is Scorch, melee, and class ability based, using a snap of the fingers to obliterate everything, and also summoning a little buddy to obliterate everything. It scorches, ignites, heals, and also plays Burn MF by 5-finger death punch in my head every time we do it. The exotic used for this build is the Dawn Chorus. This helmet buffs the Daybreak Super, allowing the projectiles to deal 90% more damage according to Light GG and Scorch enemies. Additionally, your Scorch deals 200% more damage to PvE enemies and gives 5% melee energy per damage tick. So what does this exotic tell us to do? Burn the world and snap like there's no tomorrow. Let's talk class to show off how the solar synergies make this build super strong. For class, Solar Warlock, obviously, Daybreak as a super, as it's really great with the helmet and even better with the recent roaming super buffs in Act 2, giving them faster recharge based on damage dealt. For class ability, Phoenix Dive. Warlock riffs are too slow in my opinion, a relic of Year 1 D2, so I use this one. Hold crouch in the air to dive and cure yourself and nearby allies. For melee, Incinerator Snap. Snap to make small fireballs that track and deal Scorch. It does a lot of damage for a melee. For aspects, Icarus Dash. Press your air dodge button, whatever it is for you, to rip ass and scoot in the air. It also does stuff with heat rises, but we aren't using that here. We also have Hellion, the best aspect for Solar Warlock, in my humble opinion. Use your class ability to make a solar buddy that yeets bigger fireballs that Scorch. For fragments, Ember of Singeing. Scorching enemies lets your class ability recharge faster. We scorch a lot, it works. Ember of Ashes. You deal more Scorch attacks whenever you scorch. Ember of Eruption. Ignitions you cause are bigger. Ember of Searing. Killing scorched enemies gives melee energy and makes a fire sprite, which gives good energy. So there's the class. Now let's talk weapons and stats. For weapons, the ritual weapon from last season is a very good one for this build. I like SMGs a lot, okay? Sunshot is also a good option. Use whatever weapons otherwise. Rocket sidearms probably. For stats, 100 strength is always nice. Faster recharge to your melee. Other than that, place your stats wherever you please. 100 resilience is also great to not die. Not dying is fun. Come on Bungie, buff resilience back to 40% DR. With stats and weapons touched on, let's talk mods. The mods for this build are general utility based, as Kickstarts got nerfed to uselessness a while back. We have a high focus on melee and orb generation, as well as class ability, using orbs to gain energy back. Let's begin. On helmet, double hands on, gain extra super energy on powered melee kills. Yes, this does stack with the super recharge game buffs that happen with Act 2. We also have Harmonic Siphon, make orbs on multi-kills with weapons matching our super damage type. On arms, double focusing strike, gain class ability energy whenever you deal damage with a powered melee. Heavy handed, make an orb on powered melee kills with a 10-second cooldown. On boots, double orbs of restoration, an underrated mod. Orb pickups give quite a lot of energy to the ability with the lowest charge. We also have insulation. Orb pickups give class ability energy. These two do stack if you just use your class ability, by the way. On class item, double outreach. Class ability use gives melee energy. Finally, we have Reaper. Using our class ability allows our next weapon kill to make an orb of power. Has a 10-second cooldown. So there's the mods, and here's the usual overview. Look it over, study it, check the dim link in my Discord, and subscribe. Now let's talk how this build plays. At Bladeburger, I am a connoisseur of the fun builds, the ones that aren't game breaking or super meta, but just fun as hell. This one is also super fun to play as it just explodes everything you see. The melee does a surprisingly high amount of damage, and with the 200% Scorch damage buff we get from the Dawn Chorus, it makes every melee super lethal to chumps, and the chumps that survive can just ignite, as the snap builds up enough stacks to ignite when multiple projectiles land. But why the class ability synergy? This is a melee helmet after all. The answer is Hellion. It's an absolutely insane aspect that I have glued now to all Solar Warlock builds that I have. It does a lot of damage and also builds Scorch, which synergizes perfectly with everything else we have going on. Hellion lasts 30 seconds and we can get our class ability back before then with all the mods we have that give back our class ability energy. This is a really synergistic build that works wonders in most content in the game, and unless Dawn Chorus gets nerfed for some reason, probably because hunters somehow got their hands on it, it'll be a build to last for quite some time. Try it out for yourself today and let me know how it does. Thank you all for coming and watching. Bladeburger out.